The story of the Jersey Devil is an authentic folk legend. It's as varied as the number of people who claim to have seen or heard it. For over 250 years, tales have circulated of the nocturnal ramblings of a creature emerging from the mists of a lonely, desolate marsh. As interest in the supernatural has grown, stories of the Jersey Devil have become interwoven with popular belief and South Jersey history. The Devil and the Pines. To understand the legend of the Jersey Devil, you first need to know where he was born. It's an isolated region stretching over 1,700 square miles in southeastern New Jersey. It's actually a giant aquifer with dense stands of white cedar. Inside, the air is calm, still, and cool shadows are heavy. Cedar stands throughout the marsh color. The streams, a tannic red. An area of stunted trees is called the pygmy forest. While many consider it an arid wilderness, 27 varieties of orchid grow here. In the early days, travel was difficult, as cedar swamps were a major obstacle. Some roads are ancient Indian trails. Others are old stagecoach routes. Some roads are paved, others are sandy. The roads lead to places called Hog Wallow, Double Trouble, Suey Place, and Marianne Furnace. These names date back to colonial times, when the first settlers arrived in New Jersey. The birthplace of the Jersey Devil is called Pine Barrens. The origins of the devil. One of the most famous stories tells of a place called Leeds Point. On a stormy night in 1735, a Quaker woman gave birth to a child during a thunderstorm. The room lit up with candlelight. The wind howled. Some people thought she was a witch. This poor woman, known as Mother Leeds, is said to have had many other children, up to 12. Some say the child was born deformed. Others say she put a spell on the child because of his desperate situation. Others say the child was born normal and later took on strange characteristics, such as an elongated body, winged shoulders, a large horse's head, cloven feet, and a thick tail. According to legend, the child was locked away until he escaped through the cellar door or up the chimney. The Jersey Devil was born. Another story tells of a young girl from Leeds Point who fell in love with a British soldier. The British had come to the area because Batstow's iron furnaces supplied privateers. In 1778, the British faced the Americans at the Battle of Chestnut Neck. The townspeople opposed the Union, calling it an act of treason. They cursed the girl. According to legend, when she gave birth to a child, it became known as the Leeds Devil. A variant of the story tells of a young woman who meets a passing gypsy who asks her for food. Frightened, she refuses. The gypsy cursed her for her refusal. Years later, in 1850, the curse having been forgotten, when the young woman gave birth to her first child, a boy, he became a devil and fled into the woods. Another famous version, in October 1830, a resident of Vienna, New Jersey, Mr. John Vliet, entertained his children with a mask he had made. A mask depicting a monstrous face. The mask became an annual tradition and was adopted by the town's inhabitants. Its popularity grows and is repeated at the end of October, with parents and children donning scary faces and costumes. The Devil's Deeds. Tales of the devil's exploits abound. He has taken many different forms. Because of the devil, harvests failed, cows stopped giving milk, and drought set in. He made treetops jump and rivers boil. He was blamed for the loss of all the livestock. Some believed the devil appeared every 7 years. Others said he foretold catastrophes and wars. The appearance of the devil. Eminent citizens and civil servants were among the many witnesses to the creature's appearance. These included businessmen, postal officials, and policemen who saw or heard the creature and saw its tracks in the snow. This was the beginning of the transition from local folklore to the presence of the devil in regional culture. Joseph Bonaparte, brother of Napoleon Bonaparte and former King of Spain, is said to have seen the devil. The incident occurred in Bordentown, New Jersey, while he was hunting game in the nearby woods. The infamous Captain Kidd is reputed to have buried treasure in Barnegat Bay. Legend has it that he beheaded one of his men to keep his treasure buried forever. Tales claim that the headless pirate and the Jersey Devil became friends and were seen strolling along the Atlantic and the surrounding marshes in the evenings. In Clayton, New Jersey, the devil was pursued by a troop to the edge of a wooded area. The devil fled into the forest. The troop, frightened at the thought of pursuing him, stopped and declared, "If you're the devil, jingle your chains." The devil's tastes are varied. He was seen frolicking at sea with a mermaid in 1870. And he's reputed to have had a ham and egg breakfast with a Republican Judge French. But the devil isn't known for having any specific political leanings. Sightings of the devil have covered great geographical distances. He was spotted from Bridgeton to Haddonfield in 1859, to the New York state line in 1899, and from Gloucester City to Trenton in 1909. Until then, stories of the devil were passed on by word of mouth. However, testimonies published by police and newspapers during a famous week in January 1909 turned the devil story from a popular belief into a genuine folk legend. 30 different sightings in 1 week told of the devil crossing the Delaware River into Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Press reports created panic in the region. The theory and the devil. After the apparitions of 1909, the scientific community was called upon to find possible explanations. Science professors in Philadelphia and experts at the Smithsonian Institution believe that the devil is a prehistoric creature from the Jurassic period. Could the creature have survived in the limestone caves nearby? Was it a pterodactyl or a pterosaur? New York scientists think it was a marsupial carnivore. Was it an extinct physipt? However, the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia has been unable to find any trace of a living or dead species resembling the Jersey Devil. The search continues. The director of the Philadelphia Zoo, Robert D. Carson, has offered a $10,000 reward for the capture of the devil. This reward has yet to be collected. The animal trainers at Philadelphia's Arch Street Museum had an idea of their own. For publicity purposes, they created a devil from a kangaroo painted with green stripes, to which they added fake wings. A later theory was the creature sandhill crane. The crane is 6 feet tall and weighs around 15 kilos. Its wingspan can reach 80 inches. Its ferocity when cornered is well documented, and it spins on itself when flying. It has been suggested that the devil's form is a mixture of human and devil, much like Gothic gargoyles. The devil legend first appeared in the region around 1735, shortly after Ben Franklin published a fictitious article in the Pennsylvania Gazette about a witchcraft trial in Burlington County. Early folk beliefs were often at odds with the religious or scientific doctrine of the day. The further north you go in New Jersey, the more benevolent the devil stories become. In fact, the devil never harmed anyone and never violated local regulations. Military personnel from the Vietnam War era declared the devil to be an anti-war symbol. Comparisons have been made between the devil, the Loch Ness Monster, and the abominable snowman. In 1973, he gained national attention after making a feature film entitled The Legend of Boggy Hollow. In 1996, it was reported that Berlin-based Cosmic Comics had created a JD character based on the Jersey Devil, who protects the environment and seeks the truth. The devil today. Since the early days of the iron ore industry, southern New Jersey has seen remarkable activity. Glass and paper manufacturing developed. Military complexes were developed at McGuire Air Force Base and Fort Dix. Atlantic City and the Jersey Shore became major vacation destinations. This growth and development, combined with the emergence of a well-lit road network, made apparitions of the devil less frequent. But the legend of the Jersey Devil is not about to die out. He's been exorcised, electrocuted, shot, cremated, officially declared dead, and officially declared insane. In 1939, the New Jersey Devil was reportedly named the state's official demon. Walter Edge, twice governor of the state, is quoted as saying, "When I was a child, I was never threatened by the bogeyman. We were threatened by the New Jersey Devil, morning, noon, and night." Periodic observations and theories will probably continue for generations, or at least until the Jersey Devil himself emerges from the mists of the pine grove to tell us his own story.